Hi, I'm Bailey Gaddis, and I am a writer, a mom, and a birth professional. And I am with my grandmother, Betty. We call her Grambetty, and she has lived an incredible, inspirational 87 years of life. And so today I'm going to ask her about all of the miracles that that you've had in your life, and what those were. And if you want to
Okay.
share them with me.
Okay, that sounds good. Yes, I'll be happy to share because I've had such a rich life, and yet it's not an unusual life. It's a
Mhm.
life that anybody could have. I think it's just full of
Mhm.
little everyday beauties.
Right.
Hmm.
And so you said it started in your childhood, all of the
Uh,
miracles.
yes, I was born and raised in Stanton, Texas, which is just a little agricultural town,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, we this was 1929, so that was the American Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Everybody was poor, so we didn't realize that we were poor
Right.
because everybody else was, and there was no television, so you didn't associate. You know, the movies you went to see were Flash Garden and Roy Rogers, and
Right.
those were all fantasies, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. So you didn't really think about uh, being something other than you were.
Right.
And being a little town, you did things in a group. Uh, you walked a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you played outside till in the summer. You played outside till dark, and
Yeah.
so that was that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then what about later in your life, in your 20s and 30s?
Well, for some reason, I don't know why, but I just always knew that I was interested in a nursing
Mm-hmm.
career. So there was really not much question. It was just a matter of deciding which school
Mm-hmm.
and why I chose Baylor University in Dallas. I have no idea. Uh, well, possibly because uh, my mother's sister lived there, and
Mm-hmm.
that may be. But I was happy to have chosen Baylor. I had a good, I feel like a good nursing experience
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so that nursing experience segued into motherhood and meeting your husband and
Surely was.
other
The
miracles.
one thing that I think was probably an accomplishment, and even at the time I didn't realize it, but Texas was the fifth state in the nation to have a state student nursing or nursing student
Mm-hmm.
association. And I just happened to be elected president
Oh, wow.
of that,
Yeah.
which now I realize was quite an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that led to some kind of interesting travels to Chicago to the national convention, and then throughout the state visiting
Mm-hmm.
other nursing schools and
Mm-hmm.
just talking about the career that
Mm-hmm.
was in front of us.
Yeah.
And then I had a very good nursing career.
Yeah.
Married a doctor and
Mm-hmm.
moved from Stanton, Texas to Fort Davis, Texas, where we built a small 7-bed hospital
Yeah.
and served probably uh, a 4 or 5 county area.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there in Fort Davis until it became evident that the small general hospital was too small. You never could
Mm-hmm.
have, we were never large enough to have 2 doctors,
Mm-hmm.
so that meant that you were there all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when we moved to Alpine.
Yeah.
And with Dr. Gaddis, I had 3 children,
Yeah.
Pamela, Paul, and David.
And we're all your grandchildren are happy for that.
That's
They
right.
gave us a chance. Well, great. And so now you have renovated a street, or how do you describe Murphy Street and everything that you've done there?
Oh, okay. I guess probably the thing to do after Dr. Gaddis died then I sort of gave up my nursing career as
Mm-hmm.
such and went looking for other things and found that there was money to be borrowed. The Small Business Association was making loans to women.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found an old building in Alpine, and since my children, Pam, Paul, and David, were not interested at that time in going
Mm-hmm.
to university,
Mm-hmm.
we set about renovating that old building
Mm-hmm.
into 7 shops.
Wow.
And that was just sort of a kickoff to a Gaddis Builders Incorporated time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, uh, Dr. Gaddis had died, and then I moved to Austin,
Mm-hmm.
Texas, school wise for children.
Yeah.
And I was single 11 years, had a nice 11 years being a widow, and then remarried. Was introduced to this interesting man. My son, Paul Gaddis, married Michael's Endo's daughter, Elizabeth.
Uh-huh.
And then the next year, I married her father.
So they're married and they're stepbrother and
That's
sister.
right. And so that gave me 4 extra children. So that gave 7 children, the Gaddis Endo children. And then from that 7 children, 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
And now from the 11 grandchildren, 1 great grandson and another great grandson on the way.
Big family.
Big family.
Yeah.
Good family.
Yeah.
Good family. Yeah.
Well, we're grateful to have you. Well, thank you for sharing a little sliver of your life.
Just a
I
sliver.
know that's just the first bite, but thank you.
Okay.
All right.